look back at that game, T, and say, well, you know what, we didn't draft ourselves up for success. Clean slate, go again.
Yeah, I think that's a nice way of looking at it, because this was a game where Alliance also could have maybe tried to find a moment in the game where they really sync up all of their timings. But again, Nigma did such a good job at offsetting those timings, be it shutting down the DK and laning phase or giving Clock 0 games so even though Sven was able to farm, he couldn't make moves. Like, it was just all around a difficult game, and Alliance just need to, you know, shake it off. You're allowed to have some bad games here and there, and then come back swinging in the second game.
I think for Alliance, they don't want to give an offlane Queen of Pain to their offlaner anymore. I think they've gotten very used to having these anchor type of offlaners on their team, like the Mars or the Beastmaster or even the Doom or the LC that Wallace is known to play. And I think they should stick to building their team fight around that. It'll very much simplify the way that they're going to approach mid-game fights. Because at some point in the last game, it really looked like they couldn't do anything. It was very clumsy. It was just an SB charging in and sometimes getting interrupted. Unless it was a pick-off, there really was no clear way for them to take a 5v5 fight.
Yeah. And this is now where Alliance last time, they first picked the Queen of Pain. This time, they do it again. But, you know, like we mentioned, this potentially could just be Supreme, you're playing it mid. It doesn't matter if they go Lina. They have banned up the Nyx this time, so maybe Nigma doesn't want to go, you know, because Nyx Lina is actually quite a nice opening. Like they cover each other quite well. It gives you this drafting kind of just safety net. They go for Lina. So what's going to be the replacement to Nyx? Like
I have a question about Queen of Pain, because we've seen ILTW be the one playing Queen of Pain, and he's not the only one that plays that on the safe lane. Has Nico Baby played Queen of Pain on in his pubs on the safe lane? Do you know this?
No.
I don't think he hasn't, or no, he...
I won't lie, my brain thought you said Lina, and I was like...
No, sorry.
We can
cool.
check right now. Yeah. But, I mean, as far as the safe lane Queen of Pain goes, I really like that idea, and I was hoping they would do that last game, actually, because we have seen Nico Baby been open to try these more unconventional safe laners. We've seen him play the Shadow Fiend. We know that they're able to flex their draft in that way. So I don't think it would be a bad idea, because Supreme does seem to be a more farm-centric kind of mid player as well. And it could be something that could fit for them the same way it does for Nigma.
Yep, he played, so in pubs he played one game where he did unfortunately lose the game, but he has played it once. I think for me, for Alliance, it's just, if you pick Queen of Pain, sure you're playing into Lina, but at least just, you know, just put it there, still have the same type of game, get the rotations in, offset the game. Because again, like Cop v Lina, Lina will beat you in like the farm war, but you can at least rotate slightly better, in which when you hit 6, you just TP to a lane, you then create the momentum on the side lanes, and then you recover the mid lane through just better movements on the map. So I'm hoping that they, like Effie mentioned, they don't put the Cop in the offlane role, because I'd love to see it. Or if they are to put Cop in the offlane role, at least have a mid that can go toe-to-toe with the Lina in a degree where it's not like, we now have to save this lane as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that it makes sense for Nigma to prioritize this Bane for Kuro. It is his most successful support so far this DPC season. And by picking this hero, you can kind of guarantee that your safe laner is going to have at least a relatively decent lane every time, even if he is playing against something unfavorable. Like last game, they had the Queen of Pain versus the Ursa, which shouldn't be good, but the Bane was able to make it so that ILTW left that lane very happy.
Yeah, I think that reason alone, actually, they might even just, that probably will scare them from wanting to even put Cop off lane, because Bane did so much work there, eating up these daggers, having the brain sap to get the HP back, and then, of course, if it's a real fight, you can then, you know, Nightmare disengage. So, for sure, Alliance's sake, I think they're going to be rethinking this Cop off lane potentially, or again, like we mentioned, maybe they have a better way to play it. Maybe they've realized if we go aggressive on the wave, get 2 first, we can actually kill them off. Or there could be variation, but for sure, like Nigma isn't really changing up, because that last game, their laning setup was very, very clean.
Yeah, both teams also not using a lot of bonus time until just now, or reserve time rather.
For Nigma, it's the difference in their draft is the fact that they're going to have to open the second phase, most likely with their position 4 hero, where last time it was just a casual Bane. And Nyx was a really, like, in theory, it was like so solid, because it's so generic, right? But the other 4s don't really fit that bill, right? Like, you don't really want to pick a Clock here. Earth Spirit's kind of like fallen off. There isn't that melee hero that exists, unless I'm missing the hero.
I I think Beastmaster could be a good replacement for Nyx, not as a 4, but just as a hero that provides vision to start the fights off.
Not anymore. Alliance has recognized the same thing. They just banned it a second ago.
Yeah, so the thing that Nyx served the most was just being able to open up the fights simply by just letting them see where heroes are, because something like vision is so valuable for a squishy hero like Lina. And just to talk about squishiness and being run at, Alliance going for the same opener basically implies that they want to play the same style of just aggression and run at you. It didn't work out for them last game, so they do have to enable their lanes a lot more if they're going to play like this. Because of how badly their lanes went last game, they weren't able to do the pick-off, hyper-aggressive, choke out the map kind of style that these two heroes ask for.
The hero that I thought about could be Tusk, for like the melee style of hero. Just a lane winner in the right matchup, and also it fares pretty well into, you know, Cop Barrow, because you can snowball dodge a lot of the spells. If they ever are out of position, the shards are high value, and it gives them that skirmishing style that they want. Also Roshan potential, but...
And I like that idea of Tusk actually, because in yesterday's game, RNG played it to perfection. The Lina and Tusk together, those two heroes did so much damage. So seeing Tusk come back into meta because of a hero like Lina being so strong would be really enjoyable. It definitely is a GH hero, so I really like that idea too, but not sure if they're gonna go for it here.
Yeah, because again, like for drafting style, when you're in this position where you have 2 counters now later on in the draft, it feels so nice just having it be, you know, your off lane and your carry, right? Give your off lane this perfect pick, your carry the perfect pick. Like, it's hard to lose a game when you set yourself up to not have bad lanes and you're countering, right? That's why like position 4 in theory sounds good here, but also Nigma, they might change it up, right? They might just pick another flex core, keep everything open, and then get GH on some like Skyruff style of hero where he can have a good game. Again, it really depends, but that's why they're taking so much time. Is it going to be the position 4, or is it another flex core to keep themselves within this draft, forcing Alliance to think a little bit more? Yeah, they actually use so much time here.
They are using a lot of their time here, actually. So, yeah.
It's like, in this scenario, it's like if you want to go for like a Dark Willow or some like ranged position 4, you're now having to think about, okay, so are we now picking like a Kunkka or another melee hero that can be so tanky quickly to offset the fact that we have 3 ranged heroes?
Oh, you know what? In my head, I was thinking this is a nice Grimstroke game.
Soulbind is a very valuable follow versus Spiritbreaker and Queen of Pain. You don't want to make the mistake, though, of pressing it on Spiritbreaker when he has Bulldoze.
Yeah.
A lot of people get baited by that. No, that spell will be drastically reduced, so always click it on the hero next to him, just to be safe. But yeah, Leash is very valuable versus 2 mobility-dependent heroes, such as Queen of Pain. This hero also provides wave clear, which only Lina is doing so far, which is just going to give them more space to play. But by picking Grimstroke, they do need to pick durable heroes in the next 2. I don't think 1 durable hero will be enough, because this backline of Grim, Bane, and Lina is so squishy.
And you want something to put your ink spell on that goes in, right?
And last game you had the Nyx and the Ursa and the Darkseer. They were all offsetting this squishy backline, but now the Nigma don't really have that kind of replacement.
Yeah, some cheaper damage now coming from Alliance, not falling into the trap of, you know, multiple initiators. They've now got, like, Spiritbreaker is going to be the kingpin here, where he goes in, and it's going to be so much damage from the Snapfire Mortar of Kisses or a Quap. Like, you're going to sacrifice him in the game just to unlock everyone else.
They
but
could do Snap Mars again as well if they wanted to.
Sure,
yeah,
that's
why
fine.
not? I mean, that is going back to where they started, kind of, this tour. But
yeah, which also means that the Spiritbreaker could easily be just the 5 here. Or no, it's still the 4, Snapfire 5, yeah. But for Nigma, I still feel like some Kunkka, some anti-aggression style of hero to play, or even completely mix of that. If you want to go aggressive, you pick up like a Night Stalker, you play on that vision, you have the ink spell to initiate the hero, and you never allow them to get those clean fights. But they go for the Kunkka. Okay.
They kind of have to, because they aren't really left with heroes that fit the role of durable. I'm going to soak damage and I'm going to kind of stand in front of my Lina. They also need to do that with their 5th pick hero. The Kunkka alone is not going to be enough. And speaking of the Mars Snap, it's a really great game for these 2 heroes, because until the Kunkka, if they have vision of the Snap, which they don't really have any heroes that can provide, she can cast her Mortimers uninterrupted in this arena. There's really no hero that threatens her, because we're going to assume that the priority target in the arena is going to be Lina.
Yeah, I think the main thing for Alliance, and we've seen this already before Christmas at least, was when they pick up these heroes that, like, they'll lose the first game, the second game, they'll answer it with, okay, now we have this big team fight of this combination. But if that combination doesn't get the full effect in that one fight, they're not very good heroes at taking secondary fights, third fights, whilst their cooldowns are, ticking through. Right now for Nigma, it's like their heroes, there's nothing really that you need to wait on. If Bane uses a grip, you've still got like an X mark on a Kunkka. If Lina uses whatever, like she's still clicking, right? So for Alliance, they now have better heroes to take fights, but they need to make sure they're not afraid to be able to take like that one decisive fight, because they can easily be picked apart when they don't have that perfect combination of Mars and Snapfire.
And being in your comfort zone in terms of heroes might just be what they needed to make sure that they're not afraid and more comfortable and confident going in and taking the fights that they want to take.
Sure, and of course, if Quap is now just back in the mid lane here, that's the type of hero that can get that early game going for you. So it's very comfortable to play, because when you have the lead, it's very easy to use the spells how you want to use them.
All right, one more hero left for either. For both, looks to be their carry. I mean, we can still see Nigma Galaxy switch it up, of course, with ILTW and Miracle. Am I saying that right? No. The Kunkka probably offlane. I think we still need an ILTW hero.
The beauty of it...
swap Mind Control and ILTW.
Kunkka could easily be offlane here. It could also easily be carry, right? This is the beauty of having this pick priority. Is Alliance, they need to reveal something to then give the Kunkka its true home. So for Alliance right now, so you see Nigma banning out the Void.
I would like for this to be a carry Kunkka, actually, and I would like to see some kind of backline Blink Initiator type hero come out for Nigma, because if they don't have that, Alliance's draft is just gonna kind of be one step ahead of them every way. They need some kind of hero to just put it all together.
I still love Night Stalker, personally, for Nigma.
Yeah.
I think that's super annoying to play into, because we just mentioned the idea of you have a Mars Arena plus a Snapfire. If you have a hero that cuts straight to those heroes, they have to use the spells to get rid of this hero, unlocking everyone else to play Dota. So
we talked about the combination earlier. If Kunkka is indeed carry in this case, is Darkseer still on the table?
I mean, now that
He can be now that there's Luna.
Yeah, now there's a Luna for sure.
Luna makes the hero a lot more appealing, but it's going to be a much harder lane for him this time around.
Yeah, like Luna is one of the best heroes just dealing with the tanky offlane. You can push out the wave quite nicely. You have Lucent Beam to kind of poke and prod them. So very much it gives Alliance now a hero to play around. So if they don't have the big spells, you've now got this like BKB satanic hero that can just stand up front and click through. And Nigma aren't really killing off this hero. Also Grimstroke. Much later into the game, we might even see an Axe on Grimstroke to eat through the Luna as well.
And that's the strength of Grimstroke. Dark Portrait is always going to give your team that +1 hero when it does come online.
And there's the Night Stalker. Good call, T.
Thank you very much. Yep.
Yeah, so thankfully it is a carry Kunkka, and I'm glad they did go for this Night Stalker, because now Lina is enabled. What she didn't have this game, that she lacked last game.
That's a Hanskin Mars, by the way.
Position 4. Offlane Barra. Okay.
Position 5, Mars.
5, sorry, yeah, of course. Oh, dude, I'm thinking of older lines here. My bad.
3 Spiritbreaker.
All right.
Do we like this?
I mean, Mars Luna is actually a pretty annoying lane, because Mars, you've got so many damage sources with your Spear and your Book. It could be a devastating lane compared to Spiritbreaker, which is a slightly weaker hero if it's a 5. And sure, I actually don't mind it. It gives them a way to give Nico Baby that perfect lane to hit the creeps to get to that point where it's Luna able to tank up. So I don't mind it for giving Luna the game.
I was actually going to favor Alliance's draft before I saw that it was a 3 Spiritbreaker, and I can understand why, because he really couldn't have much of an impact last game. That they do need to give that hero a little bit more net worth so repeat doesn't happen. But I think with the Night Stalker pick, they've really given Lina a way to take these fights easily. They've got the vision advantage. They've got 2 durable cores who can just run in and soak for her. And Nigma's draft, I like it.
Yeah, it's
go for them again.
a little bit more straightforward than Alliance draft this game. Check to be sure Night Stalker is indeed played by Mind Control. I saw you leaning over for exactly the same thing.
Yeah, it's not like a Fata 5 Night Stalker. Kuroki suddenly changing up.
One thing that I did notice is that Grimstroke will be the 5 and GH will play the Bane as position 4. So maybe that Ag's not going to happen anytime soon. For the Grimstroke, no
You can rush it.
Philosopher's Stone really does wonders.
That's true. That is true. So, do we have a clear favorite for this game too? Are we going to see a game 3, Effie?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, Alliance's draft looks a lot better.
Yeah.
I think there's question marks to be posed about the swap between the Mars and the Spiritbreaker. I mean, we could all be wrong, and it could just go super well. So, if it does, we could. But for now, I am leaning towards Nigma.
Ars Luna is a strong lane, but I like the overall cohesiveness of Nigma's lineup.
All right, well, let's find out how this game will end up together with OD Pixel and Jenkins.
Whoever said, you know, we're going to keep the Queen of Pain mid against the Miracle Lina. You know,
Yeah.
do they sort of fill you with confidence that Supreme sort of said, I can handle this matchup, or do you think he is going to have a tough time against Miracle?
Well, this is one of Supreme's best heroes. It's one of his favorite heroes. So I would say that it's one of those things you talk between the game and you figure out, like, okay, maybe the hero just doesn't work the same from the offlane, or at least for us. Because like I said, Lelis being on a playmaking type frontlining hero, like this is always when he's been the most successful, no matter what team he's on. Yeah, the Queen of Pain offlane last game, I think we were talking about it, after the game. Like, maybe if you're playing Quap as an offlaner, you don't want to go for the Sanj and Kaya build, because it feels like one of those things that's really good when you're ahead and you have a level advantage. But from an offlane perspective, like, what was he doing in fights? He was just kind of going in and ulting. That's all we really saw from Lelis in that game, and it's one of those things you have to see it in a game to know how you feel about it. And it just feels like after that game, offlane Quap should probably go different items than mid Quap. But they're not even doing that this time. He can do the mid Quap build, which is currently OP. It's going to look perfectly fine in this game.
Yeah, let's have a look. See how good of a game Supreme can have against what was quite a solid performance from Miracle's Lina in the first game. And this time around, maybe even in a matchup where Miracle's going to feel that he's even more favored in the laning stage. But we'll see how well it's played and see if Alliance are able to bring in any backup around that mid lane early on. And how does sort of the dynamic work then with the support Mars? You know, what's the plan here from Alliance? And do you think this was the plan all along when they went through their draft?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think they probably planned on having the ability to flex it, and I think this would probably be just, if you have Lelis on your team, he's one of the best Mars players on the planet, so
why is he not playing at this game, do you think? Like, why not put him on it? What do they not like about putting the Mars in that higher priority?
Maybe it's that they think Spirit Breaker is better with higher priority. It's like less about the Mars, more about the Spirit Breaker. Just with items, with levels, with farm, he's going to be a lot more disruptive in this game. Or just like a player preference thing. Maybe they just weren't feeling the Spirit Breaker in a support position last game. I know there's a lot of players that currently have that attitude towards the hero. People think that it's a bad support, but it's actually much better played on 3 and in mid position even. It's just like a common thread amongst some Dota players right now to share that opinion.
And we're seeing on this first wave, Miracle getting some good hits onto Supreme. See how much you can find underneath his tower. So not going to be too easy there as Miracle continues to keep that pressure up on these early levels.
Yep, same as last game, just really pressuring with the level 2 timing. Like, you can see that he just pushes the lane, rushes level 2, and then just pokes you under tower, which it doesn't seem to be matchup specific. He just does it on Lina.
Now top lane, Alliance, they will be able to kick things off with the first blood there. Catching Kuro and Zaramis and Leslau. They do have pretty good beef when they get on top of this Grimstroke. Kuro is going to have to be cautious with his positioning, especially once the levels are there for the snap fight. Aramis able to set up a lot of physical damage with that little shredder as well, and the punches of the breaker.
Yeah, Grimstroke is just so rough against any sort of minus armor, really low armor hero. Aramis with Blightstone and his little shredder, just able to put in a ton of work in this lane. The thing is, though, I feel like ILTW, if you're just farming, he can chill down. He can chill up there and farm.
On bottom, I'm looking for GH. And he's a little too speedy. Around the trees, he is able to make his way out of it. One turn towards mind control. He's a bit tankier, of course, than the Bane. And that will be enough to keep him safe. Also has a few stick charges.
Dude, they're pressuring so hard down here. Not a lane that you normally know how to deal with. What an extension. I didn't realize he extended that far when he right-clicked people. Good lord. I mean, he's basically a ranged hero. That's gotta hurt. Not a good place to get stabbed.
No.
Yeah, down here in this lane, Nigma Galaxy, they have only 3 tangos left between them, so Alliance is putting on a ton of pressure. They still have a salve advantage on Handskin, so it's just such a strange lane to deal with. Luna Mars, like, it's not something anybody has experience versus. More tangos coming on the courier. Yep, that's Dota right now. If you're a support, you've got a donkey that has something green on it for the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, especially in these sort of battle lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nigma Galaxy, they do want to try and punish this Luna and just make it not an easy start for Nico Baby, but indeed, Hanskin has been doing a solid job of pushing them back. Look over in the mid, and it's still Miracle having the edge. Of course, we'll see how things come into play when the further rune control comes in. Top lane RTW. Oh, very close to getting brought down. I mean, we really are seeing the damage from these two heroes, even against the Kunkka early on. And there's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing really well up here on Alliance. Another lane that...
They've got Cookie in a second if they want to try and go for this under the tower, and they will. They've got the tower, the creep wave pushing in. And again, little Shredder coming into play, charge over. They'll get the job done, Alliance. Getting another kill up top. Aramis very low, but RTW got nothing else to try and clip the Snapfire with, so Alliance getting the kill and getting away with it.
Yeah, they're pressuring super hard. I mean, this seems to be why they did the kind of hero swap.
Yeah,
they just feel like they just feel like that lane is going to be a lot stronger, and it does. Yeah, I mean, they're owning. Both of the side lanes actually are going very well for them. Not the mid lane though.
Yeah, but I think that this is what you expect, right? I feel like out of a Quap lane.
Lina Quap,
especially you know, this is Miracle after he's had one game to warm up, and he did pretty well in the warm up, you know. So coming into the second match against him on the mid was never going to be fun for Supreme, but as we've seen Quaps before, even if they do get punished in the lane nowadays, a good Quap player can make a recovery. And as you say, Supreme, it is one of his more comfortable heroes. So whilst the lane might not be easy, there's still very much a chance that we'll see Supreme get his way back into the game elsewhere.
And on the top lane, God, what's wrong with me today? Aramis pressuring quite hard, bot lane as well. Luna Aura plus the Mars W, lots of damage with that extra plus 17 that he's got.
Adds up.
I mean, it's a lot.
I mean, see, top player Aramis, he's just constantly going for Kuroki. They're going to go in with a charge, and they might just be able to take him down again. He's into the trees. Oh, and we'll get the stun off. Torrent as well holds back the Spirit Breaker, but Leslie and Aramis, they're still going in for Kuro. He'll cut his way through the tree line. That was the only tango that he did have left, but it was enough to get him down into the side here. He should still have a solid job of finding him. They do. Cookie in. They'll be able to take out Kuroki again. He is not having a fun time in the safe lane.
You know, I feel like if I'm Leslie, it's like you're 2-0, so you're happy at this point. Oh, he's not bashing.
At the back-to-back courier snipes there. GH got this earlier whilst it was trying to bring out the tangos and the bands. He just got it again, and he got both of them. So the complete regen backup wiped out there on that bottom lane as GH. And there's about his third courier sniper in the first 5 minutes.
Dude, Miracle, while the courier sniping was happening, solo killed Supreme mid. Just
well, that's not good.
A kill with Laguna. Yeah, I mean,
it's been a rough lane, and yeah, Supreme, he's been trying to hold on, get what he can without losing his life, and now Miracle has been able to push him over the edge. Now, yeah, as I said, he can make a recovery on the quad, but it's going to be very, very hard, especially against Alina, a couple of levels ahead of him. And as I say, Miracle...
GH is here. Oh, okay.
Oh, Kuro was not able to throw anything out to Supreme there. He had his eyes on the courier instead. Might be able to look towards Aramis, doesn't want to go up to the high ground, doesn't quite know if there's a chance turning around. They do have that high ground ward, but to standing against it, they rather have to focus back on mid. Of course, this is the bigger kill to get if they've got the burst, but they don't quite. Supreme able to make it back underneath the tower to safety, but still just having to play incredibly evasively against Nigma Galaxy. He's very vulnerable in the mid lane right now.
Yeah, I mean, this just hurts to see. I mean, everybody's had a game of Dota like this where you just give a kill away at the wrong time, and Miracle's being such a pain in the ass.
Like sneaking around it. I mean, he's going to get Aramis. He's got a Laguna. There we go. Another one for Miracle in the mid. There's this tower 7 minutes in.
Yeah.
Taking some heavy pressure.
This is, I mean, this is just an immense amount of pressure. And the thing is, like, Miracle getting that kill there is, it's a kill. You're cool with that, right? That's great. But the worst part about it is Supreme is still level 5. He just got zoned from like 3 or 4 creep waves. He's up against a level almost 8 Miracle. I mean, what a stomp.
Yeah. But he did, as I say,
Miracle's doubling his network, dude.
but this is the thing where he kind of signed up for it. You know, they played against me in the last game on the DK, and Supreme was like, you know what, let me try it with the Quap this time.
Yeah.
It was always going to be harder. Maybe he didn't quite expect it to be as tough as it's played out.
My goodness. Yeah, this is... I mean, how the hell do you recover from this? Like, you need your Queen of Pain to get some space. And Lelis is having a decent game, so he can probably make it for his Quap.
Supreme's going to try and come in and get some action down bottom, but I mean, they know even with a Sonic Wave, it wouldn't be enough to nuke through Mind Control at the moment. He's going to be fine. That's not enough burst damage. Mind Control's able to walk it off. And in a game where you're behind as a Quap and you're looking for every little thing to try and get you back in, when your first Sonic Wave doesn't get you some action, that's now 2 minutes that you're under-leveled, and without the Sonic Wave, can't really have much impact. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, and he's got 2 levels in Shadow Strike, so he was playing for the lane dominating build, and so he's not really able to farm as quickly right now and recover. So that,
I mean, look at this as well. Kuro and GH, they've just been sitting around the mid, setting up for all these kills for Miracle to pick up. He grabs another one, few hundred gold away from what looks to be sort of a pre-10-minute boost to travel.
yeah, I like that they're sitting here. I mean, they're just identifying like how poorly this lane is going for Supreme, and that they can massively pressure the tower just by existing here. It's like we saw what the Bane plus Lina did in the last game. If you can get a Nightmare after the Lina stun, you set up for the next one, and so you're gonna get a kill. Like, even without Laguna, you'll probably get a kill. So just being here from Nigma means that they're getting all of this pressure on the map, and then you have a Kunkka in the side lane. Like, he doesn't care. He's gonna keep farming. Nightstalker's gonna keep farming. It's nighttime. He's super comfortable.
And I feel like there's going to be that sort of ever-looming pressure on the Quap, in the sense that, you know, we've all been in these games where you play this sort of hero mid that wants to make these moves, get these kills, but when you're playing against a team where the 2 side lane cores are like some of the beefier heroes in the game, it's just very hard to see when you're going to have a window to do much with this mid Quap, right? You're never going to have the burst to take down a Nightstalker or a Kunkka. These are not fun heroes to jump into and try and combo.
You probably need to go with both of the supports, to be honest, and just try to kill Kunkka. But you also don't want to lose the mid tower, so I can see why they're sitting here, but it almost feels like it's a lost cause at this point.
So they're going to go for GH, and they will get him. Quick setup for Leslau. Gets the kill put into place for Supreme.
Okay, so they get a kill using Lelis' strength here. He's got his Oblivion Staff completed on Lelis, phase boot, so he's tanky, does a good amount of damage. They can make some things happen based off of his strength for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's really possible to hold this tower, though. I understand the desire to do it, because losing your mid tower early, especially in like a crushing lane like this, it's just one of the worst feeling things in the game. At least they get to deny.
A bit of morale there for the team.
Okay, now, hands kicking.
I think he's looking pretty dead.
That is a solo kill on a catapult wave.
Top lane, that's a dead Spirit Breaker. Mid lane, Miracle being sneaky.
He is just not letting up, man. Like,
I mean, is he going to get something with this? Were they aware? I don't think they would be aware who's coming in.
I think they saw that he
I don't
they
know
saw that he picked the invis.
Oh, look at that. I bet the old Tumbler's toy action gets Nico Baby to safety. It won't save Aramis, though. He goes down. And well, Alliance, see if they can catch any members of Nigma Galaxy. Spear won't quite have the range to put GH the tree. Supreme, he jumps in.
He blinked in.
He blinked in.
Okay.
Didn't quite have anything to turn around and catch him with immediately. Charge over from Leslau, able to get it onto the 2 of them with the ult back onto Miracle. They will burst the Lina. Meanwhile, LTW is in with the combo onto Nico Baby, takes him down. Kuro and GH, they will be chased upon. Supreme up to the high ground, brings down Kuroki. And well, they have RTW coming in with a hard hit, so they got enough to take out Supreme. They don't. He's out and away. Will get X-Mark back, but with the arena control, they take out ILTW before he's able to get his hands on Supreme again. So, all things said and done, Alliance, that's a good hit back there if they take the fight on their side of the map. And Supreme able to get involved in some of this action,
nice,
which is going to help propel him back towards where he wants to be in this game.
Yeah, Lelis has his full Echo Saber completed now, so Alliance looks a lot better when playing in a game where Lelis is empowered and also is a hero that can go in and start stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
Lelis is definitely carrying this portion of the game, it feels.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, and not something you would necessarily expect a Spirit Breaker to do. I mean, it's a stunning...
And look at this Tumbler's toy.
Ooh, baby.
Beautiful jump there from Nico Baby. And I mean, it's a big start. Maybe if Nico Baby dies there, then now there's a little bit of damage output to help fight back.
There was no sentry there, right? It's just...
I think just sort of the animation begin, right?
I mean, that's just impressive.
I mean, yeah, lightning reflexes there from Nico Baby.
Jail does that to you. It's gives you these just absolutely mind-blowing reflexes.
Well, that's I mean, because Nico Baby
always have to be defensive.
He had a tough game in game one. Maybe that's the sign of at the start of things kind of just switching on from here in this game too.
It's very anime sort of.
Yeah. Maybe this is the turnaround. Top lane. Is maybe going to be able to be put on hold as he takes a full combo to the face. He's going to be fine though. The arena's out. Lelis charging in on the back lines, holds back the two supports, but GH is still able to get the grip down onto Hanskin.
Double grip.
Hanskin goes out. Aramis as well also caught there thanks to the soulbind of Kuroki. Nigma Galaxy, they'll take the three of them. They'll lose ILTW. But they'll take the favor. Here's 3 for 1, and this tier 1 to go down. They're seeing if they can set up onto Supreme, and not quite. Supreme makes it out with the blink. And won't actually be able to push out the tower yet either.
Dude, Supreme got a lot of XP for that kill, because that was technically a solo kill on ILTW there. Because his dagger ticked him down way away from anybody else.
Yeah, I think so, after sort of the run wore off. He was left low mid lane. The Supreme's coming to help out. There's 4 heroes here. Yeah, he's got to be cautious. We'll blink away. So lose Hanskin underneath the tower quite quickly after he's back in the game. Still a 4K lead here for Nigma Galaxy. And I guess one sort of saving grace for Alliance this time around is that Nigma Galaxy can't really do Roshan that easy with their lineup this time, so unlikely to lose that objective early on if they lose fights like this. And of course they themselves, they have the much better effort around Rosh. So if Alliance could take a fight, they could take the Roshan. I'll get GH here with a quick setup from Leslau and Aramis. TP's coming in from Nigma Galaxy, but Alliance would still be happy to fight this. Lelis, he's ready to get back in on top of Mind Control. Supreme, I'll be able to break him away from the silence with the cookie. Further TP's coming in. The kiss is starting to get laid down as Leslau is going to look to get in on this. Great knockback with the ultimate. Jump forward from Supreme with the burst. Lelis, he's going to be able to set up for them to kill off Miracle. Stays on top of the back lines here, pushing Kuro into the trees. Hanskin's got the lockdown control onto ILTW. So ILTW will be able to step out of the arena as it comes to an end. Another bash thrown in from Leslau. They're trying to turn in onto the Spirit Breaker. The boat comes crashing down as well onto him. They'll finally be able to get rid of that pesky Spirit Breaker. And by the looks of it, Hanskin as well. Jump over onto the Mars. The Torrent catch from ILTW takes down Hanskin. And the grip set up as well. Cause of the death of Aramis. And they will manage to take out the 3 of them at the end of it all. It was a good start from Alliance there, but just goes on a little too long, and they try and force it too much, and it cost them 3 lives.
Yeah, I mean, that's the like that was a great start. That was really cool that they were using the Snapfire Kisses to set up for the Spirit Breaker charge.
In the river.
He's pretty tanky.
He has got an invis rune. They have to take what they do. Sentry's down on the ground.
Okay, yeah, that's not quite tanky enough. And yeah, 2 levels, Crippling Fear. Grimstroke Bug, like there's so much silence to do.
Nico Baby, he's in a pretty scary place up higher. I don't think they're getting the squishy Luna out of this safely. They're not, and with a Nightmare set up, GH is ready to set it up into a couple of kills here to add to the tally of Nigma Galaxy.
Yeah, man, Nigma just, they look hungry in both of these games.
You see the builds with phase drums on the Kunkka.
Yeah, they're just hunting. They're playing for early game completely. They've looked so good since they've pivoted to this sort of play style where they have ILTW on something that's much more active and then Miracle on something that can be active but also farms.
And Hanskin is trying to hide in the trees, but with the night time of the Night Stalker Mind Control, he sees it all.
Alliance, they're just bleeding, man. They're just bleeding after that dive towards the top lane.
I mean, it's starting to go a similar way to game 1, right, where we've really got to see Alliance pull themselves together and make one of these coordinated moves. We've really got to look towards the items they're attempting to get online. Nico Baby and Supreme, they're definitely making the call to say we want to get these BKBs on before we fight. It's not happening. We just see Nigma Galaxy have a bit of a poke at Roshan, but as I said, they're not really going to be able to do Rosh that quickly. So we'll see if they do try and force it. No, I mean, R2W, he wants to.
Yeah, Lena's probably the best Rosh taking hero.
Yeah, Miracle's got some damage.
On this side of it, when that's the case, it's not so good. But they have such an advantage that they can basically take it, whatever fight.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's not fast. They're more than happy to take a group up head on head.
Yeah, LTW is actually going for a BKB, but he just goes for the Ogre Axe and then is going into an AC. So they feel...
Oh, okay.
Wait, they're giving Miracle solo XP for this, as well as smoking out? This is cool. This is really cool, because you're not expecting this timing.
Hanske's not expecting this. As they're on the way, and they'll certainly be able to take him out at the same time as well. By the looks of it, from the bottom tower, they've come in and wrapped around on the rest of Alliance. They've caught Lelis.
All right, that was sick. Like, I don't think I've seen that before. Because
what's with the team making a move before Roshan does?
Because imagine you hear Roshan has fallen to the Dire, and then all of a sudden people show up a second later. You're just like, what the hell?
Yeah, mentally you don't expect.
No, absolutely
because you're right.
not.
Yeah, you're right. You sort of get this image of where they are.
Where they are based on when the Rosh falls, and then so you can play like that and be like, oh, I'm gonna chill here for a bit and then leave in 2 seconds from now.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, it caught them massively off guard. Suddenly they were losing a hero near the river, and they were losing someone else down bottom.
They're totally not ready for that. I mean, that was just sick. That was really cool. That was a sick call. Which Nigma, even when they're losing and you know looking bad as a team at the start of the tour, they've always made really good calls like that. Like their smokes are super high quality. Which when you have a captain like Kuro, it makes sense. But it's cool to see that. I mean, that's innovative.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're certainly not looking rough today. 19 minutes in, and it's already looking like Nigma Galaxy are going to have a pretty comfortable game in the bag here. Unless Alliance can come in with something surprising once the BKBs are up for their cause. And if the fight doesn't go well when Supreme and Nico Baby turn up with the BKBs, very hard to really see timing later on in this game where Alliance are really going to be able to hit back hard. It's going to get more and more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest timing that Alliance had was Nico Baby's BKB on Luna, but now that there's an Aegis in hand for Nigma, it's not important. It's really not important. You have Fiend's Grip, which goes through BKB. No. You have these tanky heroes, Kunkka Boat. You're going to be able to delay until the BKB's down.
Supreme, and he's been caught a few hundred gold before the BKB's out. There's any way of trying to save him. There isn't. The soul bind into the Sinus, locks down the two of them. As they've just got to get out Alliance. Aramis TP's away. Nico Baby, he's a long TP. And they've got him.
Oh boy.
It was a longer TP, I believe, and he didn't want to pop his BKB before he went for it because he felt that he was going to be out in time. He was not. 3 more kills for Nigma Galaxy, and things continuing to fall apart for Alliance.
Miracle has a DD bottled too, just to make things worse. Your Aegis hero now able to do a ton of tower damage.
Close to an MKB as well.
This is rough. This is really rough. I mean, Nigma's just been super on point today, though. Like, this is not looking like an easy team to beat in general right now. They're looking really strong in all of the games that they play, but like today specifically, they've been hungry for blood, man. Like, they're just hunting constantly.
I've been crushing it.
No downtime whatsoever in their gameplay. Like, they're not being lazy at all. You see smokes like that Roche smoke, and we've seen a few of them in this series. Like, they're thinking about Dota today.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't really seen any of Nigma Galaxy's members just get caught out, in sort of random positions. It just hasn't happened today in the series. Any deaths they've had, it's been a support, getting a job done somewhere, or in a sort of a team fight that Nigma Galaxy have chosen to take. I think we had one sort of move in the first game where Alliance did catch them by surprise, but other than that, Nigma Galaxy's just had full read on Alliance's moves.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a team that can. People always make the excuse that they've already secured a slot in the major, or they don't care about the earlier seasons, or whatever. There's always these excuses. Like, this is a team that can look weaker at times based on who knows what. But no, they're looking on point. They're looking on point recently. It's interesting that there are teams like that where their like potential's really high, but sometimes they just are not hitting that potential. Then there's other teams that are somewhere in the middle, but always somewhere in the middle.
See the scan here, Nigma, they're ready to charge straight up to the high ground. Arena down from a handskin, trying to stop the chase, but they're still able to reach over, get the soul bind set up. BKB's out from Supreme. He'll try and turn and help out, but they've already lost Leslau. Supreme with the last few seconds of his BKB having to blink away. A mind control chasing down with the nighttime on top of the Mars. Handscan's out, the boat's coming over. Nico Baby has to pop his BKB to get out of there, but Supreme's been left on the low ground. Another pick off here for Nigma Galaxy as they take out the three of them, and already on the backlines, GH, he's set up for a fourth. The controls there onto Aramis. As Nigma Galaxy, they are just taking whatever they want at this point, and Alliance, they just have no counterplay.
Yeah, this Nico Baby BKB is feeling like he's alone. Okay, but also mind control, it's not nighttime, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was standing a bit close there, but indeed, as you say, trusting in the sunlight to save him.
Yeah, I can see why mind control is going for that, though. It's like 1v5, you know, you're going to look for something, but he's a little too far.
We'll have the casualty of a GH on the back off. Well, that is all. Everybody else very easily out of that. And Alliance, they are going to smoke up here with Vansken and Lesnar. They've got the arena in 10 seconds. Nico Baby being used almost as the bait. And Nigma Galaxy are going to go for this. So Alliance, they want this fight to happen. Will it actually work out the way that they plan, though? As the charge over towards mind control. Lesnar still trying to get in. Supreme jumps forward, but immediately Soul Bind comes out. BKB is there from the two cores, but again, they have to sort of step away. Arena's in play, but Miracle pops the BKB. He's punching into Nico Baby, chasing down this Luna. Nico Baby cannot escape. A charge over comes out, but they cannot stop Nigma Galaxy from running them down one by one. Torrent out on a handscan. The Mars to fall. Alliance, they have to split. I mean, and that clearly was a move that Alliance themselves were trying to set up. But the smoke up from the two of them, Nico Baby on the push, but they don't get anything with it. And when you sort of see that move fall apart, you've got to wonder if there's anything left in the can here for Alliance. They'll get a tier 1 in the mid lane.
He cancels. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, that was best case scenario for them. They had gotten a pick off on GH, position 4, important hero to pick off. Also, it was not nighttime and 60 seconds on mind control's ult. Still, he just got the ult on mind control, so like he was effectively not a hero in that fight, but they just say, okay, Miracle does enough damage, we can still easily fight this. ILTW will frontline, and yeah, Nigma was right. They read that situation like a book.
It just at this stage, how does Nico Baby get in on this fight? Because it really does feel like he pops BKB, so does Miracle, and at this point, Miracle with the stacks built up with the Fire Soul and the MKB, he tears through the Luna.
He does, and like ILTW too, as 2700 HP, like he's not dying here.
Unless that. He's going to try and start things onto Miracle. Defensive Nightmare comes out, buys time for Miracle to pop the BKB. Grips out on the Supreme. Leslau also to fall. Nico Baby's getting in on the backlines with the BKB and the Eclipse. Miracle able to get out of the arena with the last second off the BKB into the trees as well. Now has the distance to turn, punch back into Nico Baby. They're just going to call it. They've had enough Alliance. GG is called. Is he going to be able to get the Rampage to close up the series? Let's see if he's able to. They've got the control onto Handscan, and he certainly does. Miracle finishes it off with a Rampage. As this series, I mean, it really was just all Nigma Galaxy. Alliance just a little all over the place today.